Um, so a couple of highlights from our business meeting on yesterday. The minutes were approved with a unanimous vote of 49-0. And those included the minutes from our business meeting last year in Louisville, as well as our virtual meeting in January. Again, those can be found on the conference tab of the SEAHO website for anyone who wants to take another look at those. We also reviewed, Gavin Roark, who led the constitutional changes, reviewed those with us. Those changes are going to help us in the future. They allowed us to do the actual online voting, and they are helping us to be a little more nimble for the future. There are other regions that are also moving to that online voting, so we want to have that flexibility and for presidents coming in the future to be able to do whatever they see fit with that. We did a review of year one of our strategic plan and to look at what we have done. So again, just so folks know that we are trying to hold ourselves accountable and move forward as we worked with Brailsford and Dunleavy to put that strategic plan together. So talk through that and some of the accomplishments from there. And then we had our treasury report. Two-step is still doing great. The training regimen has looked a little different this year, but yet and still, we are still strong, and two-step is still running a great race. Stephanie Carter, Anthony White, and Katrina Havluck talked about Relive. We are going virtual this year after counseling last year, but don't fear for folks who may be fourth years. We are having a fourth year cohort. Because we did not want to miss an entire generation, if you will, or entire year of peoples who may not have had the opportunity. So be on the lookout for that information that also can be found on the SEAHO website. We've gone over 4 resolutions of appreciation for Patricia Leonard, Steve Waller, Dave Sagasar. I never say Dave's last name right. Dave, don't kill me. And then Alan Thomas. And we've got 2 more that we'll have today. Also made the announcement that SEAHO 2024, we will return to Charleston. So we didn't get to go 21 in person in Charleston, but we'll go back in 24. And we're gonna have a great time whenever it is that we do. And last but not least, the election results, we elected Jeannie Hopper as president-elect, Mike Jones as director of committees, Kayla Kowalski as our first ever Director of Communications, and Dr. Farron Merriweather as our Treasurer-elect. So kudos and congratulations to all of those folks. We're excited to have them join the SEAHO Executive Board and look forward to the great things that they will do. And with that, that is the review of the business meeting stuff. And I will now pass the mic, if you will.
Hello, SEAHO, again for the last time. So this work is never that of just one person. So join me in expressing gratitude to all of the amazing folks that have made this year special. First, my subcommittee chairs had no quit this year, especially when things started going a little more sideways than we were anticipating. They were right there to pick each other up and just started problem solving from the beginning. Natalie Record and Dylan Ruffra with SEAHO-U, Andrew Pash for program review, Tina Belcher, who organized the moderators, the entire rest of the program committee. We could not do the work we do without them. And then of course, each and every presenter and moderator who all did phenomenal work this week. The amazing keynote panel, Stephanie Skurlak, Dr. Stephanie Carter, and Dr. Paul Yar, and then to each and every past president or past program chair that reached out to me with words of support and affirmation. You made this week easy, so thank you. I hope this group made you proud. And then finally, our incoming chair, Michael Cherry, you've got next. Thank you for all of your work this year. We've been teasing SEAHO all year opportunities all week, and please know that there is more information coming. We have over 25 programs in the works to be presented each month throughout the year, leading up to the 2022 conference. So stay tuned, and more information will be coming soon about how you can participate in SEAHO all year and attend those events. They're going to be really great. My final duty is to announce Best of SEAHO for 2021. So thank you to all over 750 attendees that filled out an evaluation this year. I think that may be a record number of evals. So thank you for that. The results were extremely close and serve as evidence of the amazing work that all of our presenters put into sharing their knowledge and expertise with us this week. So thank you again to all of you. Without further ado, the winner of Best of SEAHO for 2021 is Maya Richardson-Eccles and Claire Boudreau from Kennesaw State and Clayton University in, I believe, Georgia, for actually doing the work, making anti-racist supervision and hiring practices a reality. So congratulations to you. I'll be getting with you all about what we do next. So thank you all again. I hope you've enjoyed the conference. Please fill out your, I know they're gonna talk about it later, but please fill out the conference eval and let us know how you felt about the program sessions and those sorts of things. So thank you all again. I really appreciate everyone's support. I'll turn it over to Katie.
Hello, SEAHO. One last time from your corporate partners lady. I feel like I'm almost giving like an Oscar speech or accepting an award, but really just want to extend some huge thank yous out loud. So sincere, huge gratitude to our corporate partners, all 45 of them, excuse me, our gracious corporate sponsors, our compassionate SEAHO delegates, our persevering host committee, our thoughtful exhibit board, executive board. Wow, excuse me. See, that's what happens with my brain. Thoughtful executive board, our encouraging governing council, our superstar corporate partners committee, and our excitement for SEAHO 2022. You all are in phenomenal hands with the incoming corporate partners committee chair, Scott. And just again, one shout out to the UNF family here for supporting and putting up with me along the way this past year. With that, I say toodles and on to the next person.
Hello, SEAHO. All right, so I'm here to tell you all of the wonderful results of your generosity and love for SEAHO and for the foundation. I truly appreciate everyone who was able to stop by the booth and everyone who was able to give. So I'm not going to do a drum roll because it's going to sound really weird on Zoom, but we raised a total of $4,988 this week. And how that breaks down is we donated about $1,300 to Parthenon, $2,300 to the 70th anniversary campaign, and $870.77 to the SEAHO Legacy Fund. So thank you all for your generosity. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And so the two other announcements I have is the Cutco knife winner, for those of you who came to see me at the booth, is Alex Becking from Georgia Tech. And the overall raffle winner from the Legacy Fund is Brian Ensel from the University of Miami. And I did not pick him, so no favoritism there. But thank you all to everyone who donated, and have a great rest of your SEAHO.
Good afternoon, SEAHO. My name is Greg Hollinger, and I serve as a complex director at Emory University. On behalf of the SEAHO Awards and Recognition Committee, I am proud to present the Outstanding Graduate Student Award. This award gives special recognition to an individual who, through dedicated service to their home institution, has shown dedication to the profession and to the students that they serve. Candidates for the award must be in at least their second year of graduate work and be employed by a housing department of an institution in the SEAHO region. Please join me in congratulating this year's award winner, Sabrina Sturgeon at Virginia Tech.
This is the SEAHO Outstanding Graduate Student Award. So here's a little bit of what I wrote. It is with great pleasure that I write this letter of nomination for Sabrina Sturgeon to receive the SEAHO Outstanding Graduate Student Award. While Sabrina was in my area of oversight last year, she did not directly report to me. I told Sabrina's previous supervisor that I was writing this nomination and asked if she wanted to include any words of support. Here's what she had to say. In HRL, we aspire to know and be known with our residents. As an ARLC in Hogue Hall, Sabrina worked closely with me to support and serve a residential community of 850 engineering students. Although Sabrina does not have a STEM background, she made dedicated efforts to connect with the residents and learn about their passion for all things engineering. She met students where they were and cultivated a culture of care wherever she went. Not only has Sabrina proven herself to be a student-centered professional, but she has also demonstrated herself to be a superb administrator, colleague, and friend. Sabrina left for her summer internship without knowing her placement for the 2020-2021 academic year, as HRL was still making structural and hiring decisions with the impact of COVID-19. Midsummer, we called Sabrina to talk with her about the possibility of overseeing her own building and reporting directly to an assistant director. Sabrina did not hesitate and jumped at the opportunity for this challenge. I was personally thrilled to not only have Sabrina back in my area for a second year, but to also have the chance to directly supervise her. I was concerned about Sabrina's many responsibilities and her ability to manage everything, as I wanted to ensure that her main focus was on her classes and that she maintained a modicum of well-being. This semester has shown that Sabrina is able to manage all of her responsibilities and maintain good overall health. Her confidence has grown exponentially, and I have no doubt that much of that is because she was given the opportunity to run her own building. Sabrina has maintained her positive energy and continues to support and advocate for her residents and student staff while also completing the myriad of administrative tasks. She was also beneficial with our incoming grad assistants, as she was the sole returning grad to the department and was able to provide support and perspective to her peers. Not only has Sabrina been a star ARLC, as well as a committed learner of all things student affairs, but she is also an outstanding student, as she has maintained a 4.0 grade point average these past 3 semesters. It is for these reasons and many more that Sabrina Sturgeon deserves the SEAHO Outstanding Graduate Student Award. Woo! Give it up for Sabrina.
Let's go, good job.
Thank you, SEAHO, for all of your nominations.
Hello, SEAHO. My name is Anlyn Harvey, and I'm a coordinator for Residence Life and Education at the University of Central Florida.
And my name is Kayla Hudson. I'm a residence coordinator at Florida State University. On behalf of the Awards and Recognition Committee, we are proud to present the James C. Grimm Outstanding New Professional Award.
This award is presented to a new professional in housing and residence life who is within their first 3 years of professional employment and has demonstrated outstanding performance to his or her campus and profession, therefore demonstrating potential for a successful and effective career in housing.
We would like to share a few excerpts from the recipient's nomination letters. This recipient has embraced our office's highest goals and has become a leader in many of them in just a few months. Specifically, our office goals related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. This past semester, this individual established our office's first ever RA of Color support group. This project was a divisional priority that started before the recipient was even hired, but since adding them to our team, they breathed life and direction into this project.
This recipient will go to great lengths to support her students no matter what. They believe strongly in intentionality, efficiency, and ensures that her supervision and leadership style revolves around empowerment. In the midst of the pandemic and navigating multiple life transitions, they continue to perform at a high achieving level professionally. Without her leadership, the Division of Student Affairs, Housing and Residence Life, and the entire Spider family would be at a loss.
This recipient has contributed to SEAHO in many ways, serving as a Graduate Issues and Involvement Committee Chair. They address graduate students' issues and needs while facilitating graduate student involvement. This recipient is one of the youngest individuals to serve on the SEAHO Governing Council. In addition, this individual also submitted an article which was published in the 2019 SEAHO report. They also participated in Relay.
Congratulations to the James C. Grimm Outstanding New Professional Award winner, Ashley Owens.
I could not be prouder of Ashley for achieving this award, and I can think of no one more deserving. Ashley's work truly speaks for itself. She has been at UR for less than a year, but already her impact is deeply felt and will have lasting impacts. From establishing our first ever RA of Color support group, to implementing an implicit bias training for RAs, to leading not one, but 2 student affairs offices in the planning and implementation of an inclusive hiring practices presentation that will be offered to our entire division. Ashley has shown her commitment, values, and incredible work ethic in an extremely short period of time. Ashley has had a profound impact on me, both as a professional but also personally. I have found myself leaning on her and her expertise and guidance on hard days. She is both pragmatic and real, while also sharing her joy and light with all of us in the office. It is a huge honor to know her and to work with her. The impact she will have on the field of student affairs is simply immeasurable. I can confidently say in a decade or two, when new grads are studying the history of student affairs and learning about the giants in our field, they will undoubtedly know her name. Congratulations, Ashley.
Hey everyone, good afternoon, colleagues. It's great to see everyone. My name is Brittany Filbert and my pronouns are she, her, hers. And I serve as the Assistant Director for Residence Life at the University of North Carolina, Wilmington.
Hello, Carolina. My name is Michael Jones. My pronouns are he, him. I serve as an Assistant Director for Residential Experience at Vanderbilt University, but most importantly, a graduate of the USC HESA program class of 2012, and is glad to be with you all here in Gamecock spirit today. We are representatives for the SEAHO Awards and Recognition Committee, and we are excited to be with you all today. It is our pleasure to share that this year's recipient of the Outstanding Mid-Level Professional Award is part of the University of South Carolina team. For those who may be unfamiliar with this award, it is presented to a mid-level professional who supports and mentors entry-level and support staff, works to recruit students and retain colleagues in the field, and creates new strategies for connecting with students and improving the department, all while sharing their experiences in the field. This professional is dedicated to working with students, the department, and profession.
One of the nominators shared that this year's recipient challenges her supervisees to step out of their comfort zone, all while offering unwavering support and guidance. And that as a leader, she is a steady voice of logic and reason when contributing to the philosophies and ethos that shape your unit's work with and for your students. Another nominator wrote that she approaches her role with impeccable grace, poise, and wisdom, and that her staff always receives the utmost level of care, mentorship, support, and leadership. She is a true example of an inspirational leader who leads with incredible integrity, purpose, and conviction, and has a strong passion for the work we do in housing and residence life in the SEAHO region.
This year's recipient of the Outstanding Mid-Level Professional Award for the Southeastern Association for Housing Officers is Tiffany Condi. Congratulations, Tiffany.
Congratulations, Tiffany.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Look at this special delivery. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
What a fun time. Thank you so much. Y'all are too kind. Oh my goodness. It is like the honor of my lifetime to be recognized in this way. This is so unexpected, but certainly well needed. It has been quite a year for us, and I'm just so excited to be able to represent our region and bring one home for Carolina. Go Gamecocks! We love that. So just such a pleasure to see all these beautiful faces, and thank you so much for this recognition. It is so it's just overwhelming. So that's all I can really say. Thanks, SEAHO, and thanks to my good colleagues and the students that I get to work with every day. You make it all so worth it, and I just am so thankful.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jeremy Bowersox, and I serve as the Senior Assistant Director for Housing and Residence Life at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Daytona Beach, Florida. On behalf of the Awards and Recognition Committee, I am proud to present the SEAHO Outstanding Mentor Award. This award is presented to an individual who has provided outstanding mentorship to students or other housing professionals. Nominees should have served in a residential life and housing as a staff member for at least 5 years. This award is presented to someone that goes above and beyond in their efforts to provide guidance and support to students or staff in their role as a housing staff member. The nomination included 2 letters of support. One of the nominators had this to share. One of their peers within the department says, "This award recipient is an exceptional colleague and a natural-born leader. They demonstrate an excellent work ethic by always being reliable, prepared, and ready to rise to any challenge on any given occasion. They have an immense passion for their staff and our UCF students and take on an active role in both their professional and personal growth. Their impeccable attention to detail, management of projects, and their enthusiasm makes this recipient a wonderful coworker and leader." Please join me in congratulating this year's award winner, Dr. Fallon Thacker. Dr. Thacker, please go open your office door.
Hi. We're here outside Dr. Fallon Thacker's door. She has no idea she was nominated and won this award. So come join us while we surprise her.
Yes, it's gonna be fun. Come on.
Oh.
Dr. Thacker! Congratulations!
I'm so surprised. I don't know why I'm Thank you.
Hello again, SEAHO. My name is Greg Hollinger, and I serve as a complex director at Emory University. On behalf of the SEAHO Awards and Recognition Committee, I am proud to present the Academic Collaboration Award. This award is presented to a housing department that currently has programs in place where academic affairs are intentionally involved on campus and residential communities. The Academic Collaboration Award will recognize a program and/or community that involves collaboration between housing and academic affairs.
Everyone, so I'm here to present the SEAHO Award for Academic Collaboration. So the Academic Collaboration Award is presented to a housing department that currently has programs in place where academic affairs are intentionally involved in on-campus residential communities. The Academic Collaboration Award will recognize a program and/or community that involves collaboration between housing and academic affairs. So I am pleased that this year SEAHO selected the Meraki Living Learning Community under the leadership of Kevin Wogenrich for this award. Congrats, and we have Kevin here with us today. Please give some congrats, and I'll read a little bit more as well. So as many of you know, Meraki is fairly new LLC that launched in the fall of 2019. The foundation of this community was established as 2 proposals for a wellness-themed LLC as they were submitted in a similar time frame. We were able to capitalize on interest from the academic home, human nutrition, foods and exercise, and the student affairs well-being departments to create a broad-reaching community open to both students who have vocational interest in well-being, but also those who want to integrate well-being behaviors into their daily lives. From the beginning, this community was a true bridging of student affairs and academic affairs and continues to be so today. And in the fall 2020 semester, Meraki held over 50 events for students in the community, most of which were safe in-person events with a virtual component so students could still experience being together. Some of these events include field days, Friendsgiving, Hokie hikes, painting programs, self-care Sundays, walls of affirmation, stadium runs, meditation workshops, yoga classes, and trips to local places like the farmers market. In the 2019-2020 academic year, the first year student Meraki GPA average was 3.42 compared to 3.36 for all LLP first years and 3.27 for on-campus first years not in an LLP. And lastly, program growth was 19.7% from year 1 to year 2, despite the barrier of COVID. The fall 21 projected growth is 100. So the future is very bright for Meraki. Congrats, y'all.
Woo! Hey! Great job. Congrats, friend.
Please join me in congratulating this year's award winner, Kevin Wojenrich, in the Meraki Living Learning Community at Virginia Tech. Thank you, SEAHO, for all of your nominations.
Hello, SEAHO. My name is Patrick Prome, and I serve as the outgoing chair for the Research and Information Committee, joining you from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. On behalf of the SEAHO Awards and Recognition Committee, I am proud to present the Outstanding Contributions to Research Award. This award is presented to an individual or individuals who have contributed to and advanced the body of knowledge of the housing profession. Awarded since 2019, this award recognizes a significant contribution through the completion of an assessment-oriented study and the subsequent contribution of the findings back to the SEAHO membership. Please join me in congratulating this year's award winner, Dr. Brandon Brown from Birmingham Southern College, for his research, The African-American Male Resident Assistant, Exploring the Relationship Between Academic Self-Efficacy, Sense of Belonging, and Overall College Experience. Congratulations, Dr. Brandon Brown.
We're here to present Dr. Brandon Brown with the Outstanding Contributions to Research Award. He's not aware, but we're about to head in now. Dr. Brown. Hello, just want to present my boss, Dr. Brandon Brown, with the Outstanding Contributions to Research Award on behalf of SEAHO and the Awards and Recognition Committee. Congratulations. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. What a great award ceremony. I kept wondering, what happens if I win? How are they going to get in my house? And that's what I was wondering. But hello, everybody. My name is Julie Leos, and I get the privilege of serving the University of South Florida students as their director for residential education. I'm humbled to work in SEAHO as well, and I'm coming to you today also honored to be a part of your executive board for ACUHOI. And I serve as the regional affiliations director, and what that means is that I get the privilege of spending some time with your regional leaders every month to talk through some of the issues that they might be having, and so they can form community with other presidents in the country and outside of the country as well. I've spent some time working with Nyerere and with Dee this year, and I just want to give them such high praise for the work that they're doing behind the scenes to keep SEAHO elevated as it should be. And so thank you to them for the work that they've been doing. Can advance this slide now. Thank you. I also want to recognize that one of SEAHO's newest members to the ACUHOI Executive Board, Dr. Suzanne Price from Clemson University. Suzanne stepped into her role, the Knowledge Enhancements Director, which was previously held by Dr. Kirsten Kennedy at the University of South Carolina. So could this be a SEAHO tradition? Maybe. Well, I'm here today to talk a little bit about what ACUHOI has been up to and what you can look forward to over the next year or so and what's upcoming. I'm going to try to go through it quickly because I know that that it's been a long week for many of us. So since October of 2019, the ACUHOI, our association, and the executive board has been focused on coming up with a new strategic plan. And of course, like many of us, some of the things that were derailed through this pandemic we are living through is that it honestly helped us to see things a little more clearly about what we needed to do for the association through doing surveys with the membership, and also taking information that we had received from past state of the professions, we were able to move forward. So you can advance the slide. So of course, we know that ACUHI is home to more than 17,000 professionals, and we represent 3.2 million on-campus students and residential students, and that is really an incredible thing. Through the process, we were able to come up with a new vision and mission. I will, once I conclude this, we'll drop this in the chat as well. But our new vision to be the preeminent source and champion for the global campus housing profession. And I hope that over the next few years, we have a 3-year time frame for which we want to do that. We hope that we can be that for you and for the housing community. Next slide, please. We want to do this in four separate areas. So of course, continuing our emphasis on diversity, equity, and inclusion, working with small college and university staff, and continuing to work on what does it mean to be entry level or live-in professionals within our profession. And of course, our partnerships with our regions and also with our corporate partners, government partners, and other associations that we work with. That is going to be what we focus on. Thank you. Next slide. In one area, I just want to thank and point out our anti-racism task force. Of course, our nation and our students and us as a region and nationally have been kind of coming together to try to figure out how do we move past some of our performative DEI work and really dig into the really important things that's going to change what we do for students and for our staff members for years to come. And what that means is that we had to dig deep. We had to go and find things about our history as a ACUHI that's going to make us better. So this anti-racism task force that was started late summer last year, there's one person from the SEAHO region on here. So thanks for helping this team, has recently put out a task force report that I'll drop in the chat for you also in a little bit so y'all can read through it. You can give us feedback. And essentially what they did was said, here's where we were, and here are some recommendations that we have for the association to dig into, and also ways that we can help our regions and our campuses do the good work of getting us to a good place to end systemic racism. So thank you to these folks. That's the report there. I will drop it in the chat in just a little bit so everybody can have that. Thank you. The other thing to note, I want everyone who's on this call to know, is that we are about to recruit for our second Leadership Academy. The first Leadership Academy has been such a success, and the members that some are from this region as well. And forgive me if I don't get everybody, but I know that Mike Jones, who just was elected to your executive board, was a part of that team. And so we're going to try to do another cohort, which is professionals 5 to 7 years of experience. And if you identify as a Black woman, that is going to be the group that we move forward for the next Leadership Academy. So the applications are due soon. I'll drop that in the chat as well. Another group that has just recently formed because of our emphasis on small colleges and university is this Experts in Residence group. And so they're going to help us to figure out what are some of the needs of small colleges across our nation and throughout ACUHI that we can help them with. And also thanks to an appointment of Drew Peterson, who is our ex officio on the executive board. He's been leading this charge, and we're just so happy to have him. So thank you. Some upcoming opportunities for you. I know you're excited. I know that SEAHO has had some opportunities for placement, and the placement exchange is still going to go on. It's going to be virtual, of course. And I believe that this deadline for the program proposal for ACUHI was moved. So this March 9th is a new date. So that's fantastic. So get them in. We hope to see you there. Our mid-level Leadership Institute is upcoming. Our symposium for small colleges, those who live in, we're going to have a symposium for you. You can tell us a little bit more about your experience. The NHTI is going to continue. And one of the things that we've been working on is to make sure that the folks who weren't able to attend last year, that we continue that opportunity for them. I don't know if you all have heard that the Kuhoi Conference and Expo we've decided that it will be virtual this year again, and we will have more information about what's to come for the following years. I know that the association, the home office, has been working really hard to make sure that you still have the opportunities to engage with one another. And I am looking at the attendees list here. There are 220 people. Some of the folks I was talking to earlier today in a separate meeting with the foundation, we're just so pleased that they're still able to connect with colleagues and able to learn about ways to improve their practice, and that we can all move together. So I hope you'll take advantage of some of these opportunities. We recently had a State of the Profession, and for members who are on here who didn't get a chance to go to the State of the Profession because it's mainly reserved for your senior housing officers, we talked about really important issues. And this year was a year that we could really reckon with a lot of things. Who we are as a profession, how do we move forward, how do we engage our students, will our students come back, and what is that experience going to be like? So these are just a few of the things that we discussed, and what we're taking from this is we had small cohorts as well in the evening with the folks who attended this, just to kind of talk through how we might take this back to our campuses. And so if you know that you have somebody on your campus who was able to go, but you weren't, and are interested in finding out how that went for them, what kinds of topics they talked about, reach out and find out what that experience was like for them. I know SEAHO, and I know the leaders in SEAHO, and I know that they'd be willing to talk to you about those things. Something really important, I saw that we had an award for a research project. So proud of that person who did that and for contributing to our field. We also the proposals are open for research projects for funding for Akuhoai as well. Thank you to the foundation for helping us to fund those. And so if you haven't joined the 1951 Club for the 70th anniversary, please do that so we can continue to advance our work. But these three areas are the areas that we are hoping to get proposals about. So public-private partnerships, student success, and student outcomes. And of course, I'll drop this in the chat as well. And you have some time, March 26th, so you can put in your proposal. So I hope that we get them. And last but definitely not least, I want to share with you all that we know, Akuhoai knows that it's been a hard year, with the same way that your leadership team and executive boards have been trying to figure out what does it mean for SEAHO to work through a year in a pandemic, or a year of, dealing with finances. So are we thinking about that at the Akuhoai executive board level? And I think you might have seen this, but I know that Akuhoai sent a message to all governors in the 50 states and territories, just to kind of advocate for vaccinations for frontline staff, especially housing staff who are around this table and those on your campuses. And I know for a fact that that's one of the things that we've been trying to do, is how do we advocate for you, and how do we advocate for the ways in which you want to be able to do your work. And I know that there have been a few responses from states across the country who have said, yes, absolutely, get me connected to somebody. How do we know who these folks are? And it has really been one of those things where I'm just so grateful for the type of advocacy that's happening at the association level. So wanted to let you know. And then just recently, we were in an op-ed of Inside Higher Ed, and then Mary De Niro, our Akuhoai CEO, also featured some members in the Washington Post article that came out on February 13th. And so there will be more things like that to come, because we know that what you need is to be focused on doing the work and taking care of students, and there needs to be somebody that's advocating for you at a different level. And we want to be that for you. So thank you so much for being here, for being a part of SEAHO, and for coming together so that we can continue great work on our campuses. If you need anything at all, this is my email, and you can reach out anytime. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Julie, for those updates from Akuhoai. It is my duty now to read a resolution or proclamation. regarding COVID-19, and this is for the association at large. Whereas the Southeastern Association of Housing Officers, SEAHO, is comprised of numerous member colleges and universities with many individuals working directly and indirectly with on-campus communities who are directly impacted by the novel coronavirus COVID-19 global pandemic shortly following the SEAHO 2020 annual conference in Louisville, Kentucky. And whereas the graduate and professional staff members within our association have faced unimaginable realities on the campuses of their home institutions, which include, but not limited to, suspension of campus services, closing of residential communities, shuttering of campus operations, personal and familial distress, financial uncertainty, emotional instability, and temporary or permanent job insecurity, especially the disproportionate effect on our Black and Brown members. And whereas many of the graduate and professional staff members within our association were charged with the Herculean task of reimagining what a highly engaging and highly functional residential experience could look like on their campuses based on ever-changing information from all levels of government, the independent health experts, and align them with the demands from administration officials on campus, faculty and staff, the students and their support systems, and any external stakeholder. And whereas countless hours, days, weeks, and months of work, in most cases not recorded or compensable due to the nature of these other duties as assigned to meet the demands of few and to accommodate the expectations of many, led to an insurmountable sacrifice from our graduate and professional staff members within our association and their friends and families. And whereas many of the member colleges and institutions within the association cannot provide the appropriate compensatory or earned recognition for the seen and unseen sacrifices, both personally and professionally, by the individuals who make our organization. Be it resolved that on this day in February, in the year 2021, the Southeastern Association of Housing Officers formally recognizes its members for the time, energy, and sacrifices made by every individual, current and past, within the association who contributed to its core mission of advancing excellence in housing programs during the COVID-19 global pandemic. The association understands that it has no form of recourse to make its members whole again. It can justly appreciate and officially thank each person for contributing to its institution students and their families where such recognition may not otherwise exist. Thank you.
Good afternoon. It's my honor to present this next resolution of appreciation. Whereas Dr. Shannon Staten serves as a housing residence life professional with distinction for 40 years, and whereas Shannon supports the goals for the Southeastern Association of Housing Officers through decades of leadership and service, most notable highlights include frequent conference attendance, numerous publications and program presentations, service to the Kentucky Association of Housing Officers as a state representative and president, as well as serving our association as secretary in 1995, president in 2000, and becoming the first and only person to serve as the SAGE on governing council for 2 terms in 2004, 2006, and finishing her most recent tenure in 2020. And whereas Shannon also promotes the housing residence life profession through leadership and involvement at the state and national level, and through her former role as Director of Housing and Residence Life at the University of Louisville, and presently as the Executive Director of University Housing at Florida State University. And whereas Shannon's tenure as a housing residence life professional is characterized by an unmatched dedication to the field, exceptional leadership within the region, uninterrupted engagement, unyielding grace, and enthusiasm to serve. And where Shannon continues to raise the bar and has positively made a difference to scores of housing professionals, colleagues, and students across the region. Be it therefore resolved that the Governing Council of the Southeastern Association of Housing Officers, on behalf of its membership, wishes to express its sincerest appreciation and highest esteem to Dr. Shannon Staton for exemplary contributions to our association's executive board and our field. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Shannon Staton.
Hello, everyone. I promise this is the last time you'll see me in front of the camera. Thank you all for attending SEAHO 2021. It has been such an honor serving as the conference coordinator for this year. I will be the first person to admit that I had to take time to mourn and grieve when we made the decision to move to a completely virtual format. This is not what any of us wanted. However, we are housing folks, right? We're the ones the rest of campus looks to when things need to get done, or something needs to be organized, or if there's a problem that needs solving. As we are an entire association of housing pros, the best in the country, according to many, not that it's competition, I knew that we would be able to pull this off. There was never any doubt in my mind. Early on, we decided that we were going to make sure we did this right and SEAHO the hell out of it. Y'all, we did it. Almost 1,000 of you registered for the conference. Probably more than that participated. Almost 50 corporate partners registered and participated, and they still chose to embrace SEAHO by supporting us financially. We put on a great SEAHO U pre-conference with a panel discussion and 12 original programs. We held all of our annual meetings with upwards of 400 people in attendance at some of those. 30 amazing program sessions were presented, and nothing but amazing feedback has been coming in about those. Thank you to all the keynote speakers and program presenters for sharing your knowledge with us. Most importantly, we got to reconnect. I hope everyone felt that rush of excitement when you dropped into a meeting, a program room, or a corporate partner booth and saw your friends and colleagues from across SEAHO in there. For me, those connections are one of the most important and special parts about being part of this family of amazing professionals. Please know though, y'all, that SEAHO is more than a conference. It's people, it's knowledge, it's experiences, it's a community, and SEAHO doesn't stop existing when the conference ends. I would not be a champion of the SEAHO all year mentality if I did not ask you all to keep going. You're already on your campuses, so there's nothing to take back like we would normally ask you to do. Just go and implement what you've learned. We will have more coming to you all throughout the year, so stay engaged with SEAHO, with your committees, with your states, and with each other. You'll see here soon a link to the conference evaluation, and we'll have received it in guidebook, and you will undoubtedly get it in a follow-up email. Please take time to complete that so that we can learn from your thoughts and comments. If you've been missing the normal SEAHO swag that you would have received at the conference, we encourage you to visit the SEAHO swag shop on the SEAHO website, where there are some new SEAHO and conference related items that you can pick up. Also, as a parting treat for everyone who registered for the conference, you will be receiving a SEAHO 2021 mug, courtesy of our corporate sponsor, Folio Furniture. This will arrive to you in the mail in the coming weeks. Surprise! Thank you to Folio for helping us to continue this SEAHO tradition. Everyone, please continue to be safe. Take care of yourself and your team. Continue to be awesome in student support. Don't forget your luggage at the concierge desk. Make sure to tip the bellman. Pick a good Uber or Lyft on the way to the airport. But in all seriousness and in closing, I want to send my thanks. Thank you to my team and supervisors at Georgia Southern University for all the help, the listening ears, the advice, and the help managing all the random conference stuff I threw at you. Go Eagles. Thank you to the unequaled SEAHO 2021 host committee. Zach, Bree, Michelle, Alex, Julie, Stephanie, Katie, Kat, JT, DeAndre, Sarah, and Natalie. If you will, reach out to all these people and let them know how much you enjoyed this experience. It means so much to us to be able to hear that. They all stuck with it, and through their efforts, you all reap the benefits of their work in the form of this conference experience. Again, a big thank you to Dr. Steve Kluver, Dr. Shylon Scott, and my good friend Nyerere Tryman for the wisdom, support, and guidance through this process. I am truly blessed, and I thank God for guidance and strength through this process. And finally, I want to thank my amazing partner, Nicole, and my kids for being so patient with me and supportive of this effort. Their support was critical to making it through this process. Now, I want to close by wishing Bob Boyle the best of luck in the planning of SEAHO 2022 experience. I know that you'll do an amazing job managing your committee and bringing SEAHO 2022 to Asheville and to SEAHO. Thank you all.
Hello, SEAHO. I'm Bob Boyle, and I'm honored to serve as the SEAHO 2022 Conference Coordinator. It's my privilege, along with our 22 host committee, to invite you to join Two-Step Legacy and Us in Asheville, North Carolina, March 1st through 4th in 2022. We're just over a year out, and preparations are already underway, and we're excited about the possibility of all being back together again. Ben Wicker and this year's host team has done us all a great service. They have showcased how adaptable our profession is and truly met the task of creating new legacies. In addition to planning to be together in Asheville, we must also prepare for the possibility of an adjusted approach. In the coming months, we'll be sending out more information about SEAHO 2022 in Asheville, so stay tuned. I hope to see you there. Before we conclude, let's take a look at what Asheville has to offer the SEAHO family. Hello, SEAHO.
Habarigani, SEAHO. I greet you again in the Swahili dialect, meaning hello or what's up. It's the same greeting I used at my remarks last year to begin my presidency, and it is a fitting end as I say a few words at the conclusion of it. What a difference a year makes. True to our theme, we have created a new legacy. Even if we never host another online conference, so I think some online component will be significant in the future, we have almost flawlessly executed this one. Save for the opening session going dark and me having a brain aneurysm just about, I cannot think of anything else that has really gone wrong. So it's been great. Ben Wick and the host committee team has done a fabulous job. If we were in person, I would pause and ask for a standing O right now. But instead, I'll simply say their labor of love has been inspired. I also want to call their names individually. Zach Blackman from Wake Forest, Bree Gates from the University of Mississippi, Katie Lewis from the University of North Florida, Kat Mortensen from the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, Stephanie Rewitzer from the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, Michelle Safewright from Middle Tennessee State University, Dr. DeAndre Howard from Spartanburg Methodist College, Alex Becking from the Georgia Institute of Technology, Jeannie Hopper from the University of Mississippi, as well as new president-elect, Dr. Natalie Ricard from Florida Gulf Coast, Julie Olympich from Charleston Southern, Sarah Sheldon from Florida State University, and Jermaine J.T. Taylor from the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. I also add 2 ex officio members in Dr. Steve Kluver from Florida State University and Mr. Brian Ensel from the University of Miami. We appreciate them as well. So thank you to all of you. As I consider additional thank yous, I also have to say one to my partner, Martine. She is probably SEAHO'd out at this point, but she has been my rock and my support through this year. I love her dearly and appreciate the sacrifices that she has made for me to be successful. I also had to say thank you to my supervisor, Dr. Matt Kirch. He's on here. I've got an Alabama shirt on, Matt, Roll Tide. I stood in front of you all a year ago and told you about my insecurities and my imposter syndrome. I told you that my doubt crept in at the most inopportune of times. I never could have understood what this year would bring forward. Only weeks after the conference, the COVID pandemic and the racism pandemics both exploded and created the types of ripples that Stephanie Skurlak mentioned in her keynote address. Breonna Taylor was murdered in the city we had been in only weeks before, and George Floyd would meet his untimely demise while laid prostrate in handcuffs only 2 months later. There were others also, but I simply don't have time to name them all. Both of these pandemics rocked our profession as there was unrest on campuses, followed by disruptions in our normal operations because of COVID. We canceled Rely, we conducted the summer executive board, as well as our mid-year in a virtual format. We also negotiated our way out of contractual obligations in the neighborhood of $200,000 for this year by pivoting. Though a vaccine has been approved, we still must be vigilant and continue to social distance and take precautions to keep COVID away as best we can. Hopefully one day, there'll be a vaccine for the racism that is so ingrained into America and its institutions. Despite all of these things, our association has moved forward. Dr. Stephanie Carter's words rang true this entire year when she said in the keynote, "You cannot, nor should you be leading in times of uncertainty by yourself." This wonderful executive board and governing council has been here with me lockstep and have not been shy about asking the important question of what do I need or how can they help? They have simply been phenomenal, and I am eternally grateful to all of them. As we consider that 2.5 million people worldwide have lost their lives to COVID, with 500,000 of those being in the US, Dr. Paul Yar's words of the present being a gift stick to me like a cotton shirt on a summer Alabama day. To my friends who have joined us from places, institutions that normally don't have this type of professional development opportunity, I hope this conference has provided you value and some additional tools for your professional repertoire. It is my sincere hope that we will continue great offerings throughout SEAHO all year and that you will be able to join us in the future. As I close, I want to offer a poem that I heard in high school that has stuck with me throughout the years. It's entitled "See It Through" by Edgar Allan Guest. When you're up against the trouble, meet it squarely face to face. Lift your chin and set your shoulders, plant your feet and take a brace. When it's vain to try to dodge it, do the best that you can do. You may fail, but you may conquer. See it through. Black may be the clouds about you and your future may seem grim, but don't let your nerve desert you. Keep yourself in fighting trim. If the worst is bound to happen, in spite of all that you can do, running from it will not save you. See it through. Even hope may seem but futile when with troubles you're beset, but remember you are facing just what other people have met. You may fail, but fall still fighting. Don't give up whatever you do. Eyes front, head high to the finish. See it through. SEAHO, I've done my best to see this presidency through. And I'm happy to turn the leadership over to President Allard and President-elect Jeannie Opera. I'm excited to see how they will move the organization forward. I leave you with the phrase, Asante Sana, which is Swahili for thanks a lot. I love you, SEAHO, and thank you. It's been a great honor.
Thank you, President Tryman, and your eloquent words as always. Again, my name is Dee Allard, serving as incoming president for SEAHO, and I've got a small video for you, so enjoy. Good afternoon and hello to my SEAHO family and friends. My name is Dee Allard, and I serve as the SEAHO president for 2022. I've got a slideshow to start, so let's get that going. And we shall go from there. So, thank you again for joining me on this last gathering before you go back to your day jobs and out of this virtual world for a bit. I want to take a few moments to acknowledge some colleagues and peers amongst us, share a little bit about me and what I envision for our organization for this year. First, to our 2021 SEAHO host team led by Ben Wicker. This conference is our largest and first virtual SEAHO experience. You and your team met this challenge with a we can and let's do this attitude, especially after all things COVID-19 has dealt us. You have each served us well, giving us opportunities to learn, to connect and grow as professionals, as colleagues. Let's give one more round of applause to Conference Coordinator Ben Wicker and the 2021 host team for crafting our first virtual and largest SEAHO conference. I also want to extend thank you to Mr. Nyerere Tryman, President for SEAHO for 2021. As you know, just after SEAHO 2020 in Louisville, Kentucky, we were faced by COVID-19 here in the U.S. I witnessed President Tryman navigating SEAHO through uncharted waters, but also working as a parent/teacher to small children while managing the numerous difficulties of his paying job responsibilities, day-to-day housing occupancy management at BAMA. He has led this organization with grace and patience through a multitude of unknowns and what-ifs. Thank you, Mr. Tryman, for your outstanding work, and especially for being a positive example of great leadership in uncertain times. And thank you for also your patience and grace with me as I work through some family challenges at this moment. You have truly led our organization to calmer waters. Well done, sir, and I'm so glad to have the opportunity to work with you yet another year. I also want to acknowledge our outstanding SEAHO leadership over the years. Leaders I've had the pleasure to work with, such as Evelyn Wallington, Gay Perez, Paul Ryle, Kayla Hamilton, Chandra Myrick, and Countess Hughes. And for those who still continue to serve SEAHO in various capacity, such as Kathy Hobgood, Dr. Shannon Staten, and Dr. Paul Yar. You have paved the way to lead SEAHO to tremendous successes over the years. Past SEAHO presidents and corporate partners have also led this organization, allowing us to provide SEAHO 2021 free of charge this year. You advised and supported the membership through many obstacles in the past and current difficulties, and I know you will continue to do so in our future. Thank you for your never-ending service. At this point, I want to share a little bit about myself. I am a first-generation college student who managed to earn her doctorate in educational leadership in 2019. I'm a first daughter of West Indian parents from Grenada and Union Island, and not many SEAHO members know that I'm British-born immigrant to the United States who strove to celebrate the love and hate relationship of my dual or perhaps triplicate heritage, being an English, British, West Indian woman striving to live in the United States American dream. I've had the pleasure of working at 6 different institutions, mostly within the SEAHO region, beginning with Florida State University, working with at Ball State University, Appalachian State, UNC Chapel Hill, UNF, the University of North Florida, as well as now at Mississippi State as a Bulldog. And as my friend Gavin Roark would say, clang'a clang'a, hailing our cowbell ringing proudly. Each of these institutions and professionals I've had the honor of serving with contributed to shaping me into the professional I am today. This journey includes male mentors, vibrant women, women of color, and folks willing to guide, encourage, and support me along the way. Thank you. On your shoulders, I stand. I also want to acknowledge my partner, James, family members, friends who I consider to be family, and especially my parents who have set high standards, strengthened my faith walk, and challenged me to appreciate and learn to be the best me I can be. SEAHO has become my other family, my professional base. The family members who get what you do and emphasize and share in the diverse challenges housing professionals, educators must overcome. They help to boost your energy. They inspire innovative facilities, ideas, programs, and activities for our students and our colleagues. And you stretch beyond what you believe to be your own limitations. Thank you for always being there and encouraging me along the way. A few of our focuses for SEAHO in this coming year include continued improvement to our SEAHO website, needs-based opportunities for our members to enjoy growth and learning opportunities, review and analyze and address the future of housing professionals in the midst of post-COVID, and opportunities to connect with minority serving and underrepresented institutions within SEAHO. With your involvement and engagement, we'll continue to support and invest our current and into our future housing professionals. Thank you again, SEAHO, for this amazing opportunity to serve and represent you this next year. I look forward to all the places we will go together, and especially loving and engaging with one another, hopefully once again in person for SEAHO 2022 in Asheville, North Carolina, led by Bob Boyle, serving as the conference coordinator as we enjoy the Blue Ridge Mountains at the Grove Park Inn. And with that, it's my honor and pleasure to call the SEAHO 2021 conference to a close. Safe travels, everyone, and continue to engage with SEAHO year-round. Hail State!